ladies and gentlemen, ladies, girls and boys and girls. Hit the subscribe button. Do that right now. So hit the subscribe button. Soon this come on your channel, your bill, your YouTube, your TikTok, man to them. And hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and let you know our channel's back on. Hit the like and share. That helps the channel to grow. Yes, get the book, The Audacity of Woke, a memoir of a man who's been mentally asleep. All book formats, Amazon.com. Let's go right into it. Let's get right into them, setting things up right now. I'm a little motivated, a little bit hyped. Well, I'm always hyped. Am I always hyped? Am I always energized? Yes, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Let you know our channel is back on. And guess what? We're going to have a nice meal today. Have a drink. Have a drink. Ladies and gentlemen, have a drink. It's on me. All right, here we go. I know you've been hearing a lot of things in the news. You know what I say, I don't get the news, but I get the news. And, we got a big election. What you think about the debate? Yeah. Duking it out, huh? Yeah. So, I just finished listening to the president's clapback to different media and all that a few minutes ago. But here's what got me sitting in front of the mic today. And by the way, I hope your weekend or your week has not been weakened by the weekend and you wasn't week and days through the weekdays. Have you heard of Chevron deference? Supreme Court struck that down a couple weeks ago. Check it out. I'm going to just go over a few things with you. The Chevron deference. And I need you to see what it's all about and what's going on in the world today. A lot of people, they're afraid. They don't want to look. They don't want to search. But you have to, man. You have to know. You have to know what the hell going on in this world, man. And it was a law that was implemented in 1984. It was in 1984, and it was 40 years. As they say, the Chevron deference, the scope of the Chevron deference doctrine was a legislative delegation to administrative agency on a particular issue or question was not explicit but rather implicit. A court may not substitute its own interpretation of a statute for reasonable interpretation made by administrative agencies. Now, the agencies they're talking about, they're talking about the alphabet agencies, all the one with the alphabet initials, the little statues that they put up. Under the Chevron, court defers to agency interpretation of ambiguous statutes, as long as the judge finds the interpretation to be reasonable. If the court limits or upends the Chevron doctrine, the ruling will pull back the leeway that the agencies have had in interrupting statutes. So we're gonna have a lot of things that will be changing. They think that we the people finally get our power back as people. But we'll see. It was a ruling that was 40 years old. The United States, here again, the United States Supreme Court today in the Looper Bright Enterprises versus Romito dealt a severe blow to the ability of federal agencies to do their jobs by ending the 40-year-old predecessor of the Chevron deference. Instead of deferring to the expense of agencies on how to interrupt ambiguous languages and laws pertaining to their work, federal judges now have the power to decide what a law means for themselves. As a result, Despite not being accountable to the people, judges will now be able to expand their role into the realm of policy making. Now, so you're taking people who are experts in the field, in certain fields, the alphabet agencies, and you're giving the power to the judges who have not been trained in those fields. The balance of power that we were taught in school about the United States government separation of powers is supposed to work. Congress writes the laws. The executive branch carries them out. The judiciary, including the Supreme Court, resolves arguments about what these laws mean and evaluates whether they're being enforced properly. In reality, these powers overlap at times because in between the branches of government and overall the system relies on a certain degree of trust. Now, what I build today is, I don't want to be too long. Our build today is about what's going to happen in 2025. And look up the Chevron difference. Make sure you do that. Our bill today is simply properly titled, What Exactly is Project 25? Project 25. And I just have an excerpt of a few things that's going on with Project 25. Let me show you some things. But let me go here first. So, if you've been hearing about the Project 2025, oh, it's real. And let me give you just a little excerpt and tell you what exactly is Project 2025. See, simply put, Project 2025 is a massive 920-page document, a manifesto that outlines exactly what the next Trump presidency will look like. Even though Trump said he don't know nothing about it, he's not part of it, we know the deal. Now, this doesn't just include policy proposals like immigration actions, educational proposals, and economic plans, but rather a portrait of the American that conservatives hope to implement in the next Republican administration, be it Trump or someone else. You see, the goal is to take us back to a 1973 Christian nationalist country. But alas, America is the country. The United States is the corporation. Don't forget that. Now, the document is a thorough blueprint for how exactly to carry out such a vision. I mean eyes, I help you see, but such a vision through recommendations for key White House staff, cabinet positions, Congress, federal agencies, talking about knocking on no map, commissions, and boards. The plan goes so far to outline a vetting process for appointing and hiring the right people in every level of government to carry this vision out. The opening essay of the plan, written by the Heritage Project President Kevin D. Roberts, succinctly summarizes the goal of Project 2025. It promised to make America a conservative nation. To do so, the next presidential administration should focus on four broad fronts that would decide America's future. And those four fronts include, number one, restore the family as the centerpiece of American life and protect our children. 2, dismantle the administrative state and return self-governance to the American people. 3, defend our nation's sovereignty, borders, and bounty against global threats. 4, secure our God-given individual rights to live freely. What our Constitution calls the blessings, the blessings. You know what blessing means? Be less. The blessings of liberty. The rest of the document sketches out in detail how the next Republican administration can execute their goals on these four fronts. That includes comprehensive outlines on what the White House and every single federal agency should do to overhaul its goals and day-to-day operations. From Department of Agriculture to Department of Defense, Small Business Administration, and financial regulatory agencies. Every sector of the executive branch has a detailed plan in Project 2025. That explains how it can carry out an ultra-conservative agenda. Now, let's be real. I got some notes. I come with receipts. The outline is it's a pillar of all sorts of things. They say if these plans are enacted, even without congressional approval, 4.3 million people could lose overtime projections. 40 million people could have their food assistance reduced. 222,000 Americans' jobs could be lost, and much more. The stakes are higher than ever for democracy, for people. These threats are hypocritical. These are the real plans. They are just a little snapshot of Project 2025. A snapshot. Cut American Rescue Plan, ARP. Job programs they have created or saved 220,000 jobs. Limit access to food assistance, which an average of more than 40 million people rely on monthly. 21.6 million households. Roll back civil rights protections across multiple fronts, including cutting diversity, equality, and inclusion-related DEI programs and LGBTQ plus rights in healthcare, education, and the workplace. Oh, you think it's a joke? You think these people playing with you? No, they're not. They're not. Eliminate the Head Start early education program, which serves over 1 million people, 1 million children, 1 million little people. Eliminate the Head Start program. Stop efforts to lower prescription drug prices like they're not astronomical high as in America. Cut overtime protections for 4.3 million workers. More on that for a moment. Push more people towards Medicare Advantage and other worse private options. That's 33 million people. Restrict access to medication, abortion. Talking about banning abortion. Oh yeah. Oh, you think it's a joke, don't you? Expose the 368,000 children in foster care to the risk of increased discrimination and missing children. Adrenochrome. Look it up. Deny students in 25 states and Washington, D.C. access to student loans because the school provides in-state tuition to undocumented immigrants. Must I go on? Must I go on? You see, they're going to cut wages and create unsafe workplaces and destabilize our economy. Oh, you thought it was a joke. You thought the flower tissue. I didn't contemplate it. I brought some receipts, man. Project 2025. It will eliminate corporations to cut overtime, pay pay, relax worker safety rules, and allow workplace discrimination, and much, much more. How they gonna do it? Stop people from earning overtime pay. Project 2025 wants the Department of Labor to make it harder for people to earn overtime pay. So they want you to drive work over, work you like Hebrew slaves, work like, no, fuck that. Work you like American slaves, American black slaves, 40 hours, and that's it. How they'll do it. Number 2, they'll cut funding for local job creating programs. Project 2025 proposes to decimate a program, destroy a program that plays a pivotal role in facilitating transformative economic growth for local economies. Oh man, so much more. It's so much more. How would they do that? They manipulate data that businesses rely on to keep our economy functioning by consolidating the Bureau of Economic Analysis, Census Bureau, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Project 2025, will kneecap the data collection capacities of these important agencies, which affects felt by working people across the nation. Man, as I read, I go on. I'm getting a little bit agitated. While you worrying about, what Kendrick Lamar and what Drake doing, or what Taylor Swift and her boyfriend, that dude, white boy from Kansas City Chiefs, Kelsey. You worry about the small stuff. The infinitesimal things don't mean nothing. While behind the scenes, they've been writing up a 922-page manifesto, a 922-page goddamn regiment. They're going to take us back, not move us forward, but take us back and try to create a totalitarian country. 1973, ass backwards, Christian nationalist state, or country, I should say. How they do it? Weaken child labor protections. Oh, the children. It was said back then it was a hard knock life, and they had them orphan trains and all that. Oh, we're going back. Remember, he said, "Make America great again." Project 2025 would amend hazard regulations to allow employers to put young people in unsafe working conditions. Make it harder. Make it harder. Make it harder for Americans to make ends meet. We're going through that right now. I mean, I made more money than I ever made in the profession that I'm in. And it's pretty tough for your boy. It's pretty rough for your boy. I know I'm speaking for some as well. I know you feel me. The cost of living is steady going up, but the wages are flatlining. Then they want to take us back. Oh, they want to take away your overtime. They want to take away, they want to loosen up child labor. Because we don't do it because the children, our children, working. You see, a strong democracy is one where people have the resources they need to thrive. Not worry about how they will make ends meet. Project 2025 proposals will only make daily life harder and harder for the common people, with fewer people able to access food assistance and affordable early education, less support for veterans with disabilities, and cuts to support their farmers. You see, when you do all that, you know what they're going to create? You seen the movie The Purge, right? Oh, you thought it was just entertainment. You thought it was just entertainment. There's nothing that's entertainment. They put it in our faces. It's right there. Right before your face. But you don't see it. They're going to restrict access to food assistance. Cut your food cards down. People who need that. Lower it every year. Project 2025 make it harder for people to access food assistance by adding ineffective requirements and reevaluating important programs. See, when a man can't keep a job, when a man can't hold down a job that's not even paying him enough, he can't even get overtime. He don't have enough money to make ends meet. He's living check to check. And then that check is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. You know what happens next? You gotta eat. You gotta survive. Yeah, it calls a mutiny, robbery, crime, killings. You gotta eat. They're gonna eliminate the Head Start program, Project 2025, with the START program that is critical to uplifting children across the nation from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. They're going to limit which disabilities qualify veterans for benefits, and the authors of Project 2025 think that too many veterans qualify for disability benefits. They're going to remove safety nets for farmers. Black farmers already don't get no love up in this country. Let's be real. They're going to remove safety nets for farmers. Project 2025 thinks that farmers are receiving too much assistance. Wow! I almost choked up. It eliminates funding for key public transportation projects. Despite its transformational investments in communities across the United States. The Capital Investment Grants, CIG programs, is a Project 2025 target for elimination. So they're going to take away your traveling, the way you have to get on the bus and all that right there. It's going to restrict reproduction rights and access to health care. Despite majority of Americans supporting comprehensive health care and reproductive freedom, Project 2025 will prefer a far different reality. Their attacks will undermine Medicare, keep prescription drug prices high as fuck, and restrict access to reproductive care. You know what that means. They talking about banning abortions. Oh yeah, you didn't know? Banning abortions. They're gonna complete ban on abortions without exceptions on the 922-page manifesto. It's on page 444 through 503. You can look it up online. I looked it up online. They have a PDF for it. Get your read on it. Evolve. They're gonna end medication abortion use or make it incredibly difficult to assess. Project 2025 will revoke approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which is FDA, criminalize mail-in medication abortion, or even enlist the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, as part of the anti-abortion efforts. See, reason why I talked about the Chevron deference. You not see those two is linking up with Project 2025. Supreme Court just struck that down. And it's striking down what these alphabet agencies can implement these laws. And Project 2025 will bring it right on in. Oh, it's real. The game been real. Enable discrimination across society. How they gonna do that? You ask. Threatened by decades of progress and advance in civil rights and equality for all authors of Project 2025, that allows for more discrimination where we live, study, work, and play, and revert back, fought hard victories by our movements for progress. You thought it was a joke. How they gonna do it? They're gonna embolden racial discrimination in everything, everything, from housing to education to employment. Project 2025 proposes that the president should remove a key tool that the federal government uses to enforce civil rights protections. Oh, it's about to get real. It's about to get real. For real. Make it harder for historical under-resourced communities, POC communities already under-resourced, underfunded, to assess Medicaid, Head Start, and other government programs. Population counts can be essential to groups receiving operations and resources from the federal government, like Medicaid, Head Start, community mental health programs, and much, much more. So Project 2025 plans to undercount or undermine the accuracy of these counts, and they will hurt communities that have been economically marginalized. They're going to undermine gender equality across the government. Project 2025 will eliminate the White House Gender Policy Council, which is key to promoting when women or people get contraceptive access, gender-based violence prevention, and women's health equality. Let's keep going. It will allow more discrimination against the LGBTQ plus youth and adoption with foster care agencies. Project 2025 will make it easier for state and child welfare agencies, which are charged by the public to provide appropriate care for children, to cite religious exemptions as a way to promote bigotry. It's going to put black communities and others, POCs, that have historically borne from the brunt of health impacts from population and other environmental harms at increased risk. Project 2025 proposes to eliminate the EPA's Office of Environmental Justice and External Civil Rights. It would enable discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity by misinterpreting Supreme Court proceedings and allowing more religious exemptions. Project 2025 will roll back. It's going to revert back protections against discriminations against the LGBTQ plus people and others in the workplace. It's about to get bad. They're going to set polluters loose and undo climate protection. It's about to get bad. We waited for decades for meaningful and robust federal action to combat federal change and protect people from harms of pollution. Project 2025 couldn't care fuck less about these threats, but now they want to destroy our hard-fought gains. They're going to cut off weather, ocean, and climate data by disbanding the NOAA. Project 2025 will disband the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, which is the NOAA, which provides critical weather data and insightful scientific research. Once I go on, does it sound bad enough? Project 2025, make education unaffordable and unwelcome. You see, in 1921, 1922, the Rockefeller, which started the public school system, the public education. So he said he didn't want thinkers. He want workers. So they're going to make education unaffordable, which is not the fuck now unaffordable, astronomically high to get a degree. They're going to make it unwelcome as well. Our public schools are foundational to our democracy. When special interests undermine public schools, they undermine the ability of students. The ability of students from all backgrounds to learn, feel safe in their community, and develop skills and knowledge that enable students to live. And enable students not only to live, but to thrive. If Project 2025 has their way, our public schools could be stripped of funding, protections for students, and high quality criteria. They're going to cut federal loan programs that helps parents of college students, graduate students, and immigrants to afford a higher education. Project 2025 will roll back federal student loan programs that are critical to ensure higher education is not reserved for only the wealthy and the well-connected. They're going to make public schools even more dangerous for LGBTQ plus students. Project 2025 will have the security of education to remove a host of protection for the LGBTQ plus students in schools. Oh, you think it's bad now? You don't see nothing yet. You don't see nothing yet. Oh, they're going to undermine government's ability to deliver for people. Yeah. Yes. It's not a joke. Civil servants or federal employees who work and live in all 50 states and more than 2 million people keep our air clean, water safe, consumers protected, and mail delivered. Attacks on the nation's civil service are attacks on the government's ability to work for the people. They're going to replace nonpartisan federal employees with partisan loyalties. Project 2025 will have a future president reissue the Trump administration Schedule F executive order to make it easier to fire federal employees. What the focus? And what they're going to do, they're going to force career experts out of government by relocating federal agencies, while the vast majority of civil servants already live and work outside of Washington, D.C. Project 2025 still proposes to relocate D.C.-based offices in an effort to box out long-serving, nonpartisan experts. Once I go on, is it not sad enough? The threats from Project 2025 do not end here. The People's Guide only began to catalog the people in the communities who would be harmed if a future presidential administration began to implement Project 25 projections and proposals. Businesses and industry across the country would be harmed not just from the lack of data collection discussed above, but also from proposals to politicize the Federal Reserve or to restrict free trade. Our country's national security itself, too, is threatened by these proposals to concentrate military decision-making, further undermine our intelligence agencies, or promote idealistic isolationist policies. We continue to analyze these policies and their harms to the people, and expect to release updated versions of the People Guide with reports on the threats that will make it hard to run a business, put our security at risk, and more. It ends with, we cannot let Project 2025 write the next chapter of our nation's story. Look it up. They have the whole 922-page manifesto online. You can look it up, Project 2025. Look it up, read about it, get involved. I'm going to leave you with this. It always has been of rules. It's always been like a Ponzi scheme. You see, advertising had us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs that we fucking hate. So we buy things we don't need. We're the middle finger children of his story. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. You see. You see. A great war is a spiritual war. Do you now understand me? A Great Depression is our lives. It's our lives. You see, we've been all raised on television to be believe that one day we'll be millionaires, movie gods, and rock stars. But guess what? We haven't and we won't. We're slowly learning the fact that we're extremely pissed the fuck off. You see, you're not your job. You're not your job. You're not how much money you have in your bank. You're not the beautiful car that you drive. You're not the contents in your wallet or your purse. You're all singing, all dancing crap of the world. Only after a disaster can we be resurrected. Only after a disaster will it be an evolution and a revolution. It's coming. The things you end up owning owns you. And the things you own, it ends up owning you. It's only after you lose every and error thing that you are now free to do anything. Nothing is static. Nothing or no thing. Every and error thing is falling apart. In the end, the only way to find true freedom is to let go of what's holding you back. You see, you exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you. Project 2025, Chevron deference was overturned by the Supreme Court. Look it up, that's your homework. I didn't mean to go this long, but I had to. Know that if I love me, I love you. And when you love you, in return, you love me. I leave you in peace. Positive energy always create evolution. Project 2025, Chevron deference. DEFERENCE. Look it up. Look it up. I love you. I love you in truth. Peace.